Welcome to the Confident Live Marketing Show with Ian Anderson Gray.
Helping you level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of confident live video.
Optimize your mindset and communication and increase your confidence in front of the camera.
Get confident with the tech and gear.
And get confident with the content and marketing.
Together, we can go live!
Well, hello, welcome to episode 211. I'm back. It is Ian Anderson Gray here. I am not an AI-generated avatar. I don't think I am anyway, but it's good to be here. This is actually take two because I went live about 15 minutes and it just kind of decided not to work, which is weird. I kind of went live for like 10 seconds and then it just decided to just stop. So anyway, if you've just joined, if you're watching live, and maybe if you kind of saw the last 10 seconds worth, welcome. Let me know you're here. It's always wonderful to see some live people. It is. I can see that Katie Simpson is here. Great to see you, Katie, who's saying, I found you. Yeah, well done for trying, because it's been interesting. And yes, I am back. And Deb Mitchell is watching over on Facebook. Great to see you, Deb. Hope you're doing really well. I know it's early morning for you. But yes, I've been away and I'm back. But first, before we get on with anything else, in this show, I'm going to be talking about what I've been doing, what's next, some exciting things that I've been working on as well to do with, well, I'm going to just leave you hanging. But first of all, it's time to hear from my good friends at Adobe Express who are sponsoring this episode. I'll be back with you in a couple of minutes. Sponsored by my good friends at Adobe Express. I've been using Adobe Express to help me with my content creation, particularly my visual stuff like videos and images. It's amazing. One of the cool things that I've been playing with is their generative AI images. This is powered by Adobe Firefly. You can do some really cool things by just describing the image that you want. Then you've got loads to choose from here. There's 4, but I can add some more here. I can change it to, say, for example, digital art. You can, of course, resize. I can also add my own branding as well, just add my logo bug in top right-hand corner. I can even add my image there. Probably doesn't look very good like that, but you can do that. Loads of cool things. But one of the things they've just announced, which I'm very excited about, is that the social media scheduler is now free. This was only available to people with the premium plan, which I have actually, but this used to be Content Cal, and I've written a lot about Content Cal back in the day. My friend Andy Lambert was part of the team that started that, and now he's on the team at Adobe. This is a great way for you to publish content to a variety of different places. You can post to Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and TikTok. So for example, I could create a new post here. I can just browse my library here. I've got the image that I just created there. This is the image for a blog post that I created recently. I'm going to just choose the landscape version there. It's going to add in the URL there, and then I can select the channels. I'm going to choose Facebook, X, and LinkedIn in there. Now I can publish straight away. I can save it as a draft, or I can publish it. Maybe let's say we're going to do it on the 30th of January. Let's schedule that in. And so what it's going to do, it's going to put it into the calendar, which is at the heart of this. I can see here on my monthly calendar view that I've got it scheduled to Facebook, X, and LinkedIn. I can also go to week view, just go to next week. I can see them a lot better there. And of course, I can edit these and change these. I can have a different piece of text. I can have different content for each network, which I can do there really easily. I can duplicate the post and do so many cool things. This is amazing. This is totally free. Adobe Express is totally free. There is a premium plan, which has got loads of cool features, but the free plan now also includes the social media scheduler, which is amazing. Check it out at iag.me/Adobe Express. That's iag.me/Adobe Express. Let's get on with the show. Well, there you go. So Adobe Express, thank you so much for sponsoring this show. It's a fantastic tool. So great to be here. I know if you're listening to the podcast, you're not going to be able to see this, but I'll describe this in there. I'm wearing a t-shirt, a new t-shirt, my Recovering Perfectionist t-shirt, one mistook at a time. So I hope you like that. A bit more about that in a bit. But yeah, so before I get on with what's happening with the show, a few things that I've been working on this year so far. We're only in January, but although the end of January. And the first thing is that I'm hanging out a lot more on LinkedIn. In the past, I mean, I've always known LinkedIn is where I need to be, but to be quite honest, it's just not been my bag. It's just not been particularly exciting. But something has changed this year, not necessarily with LinkedIn, but in terms of my focus as well. And so I'm hanging out a bit more on LinkedIn. So if you are on LinkedIn, it'd be great to see you there. And I'm learning. So I'm going to be on, maybe not so much on the show, but on LinkedIn in particular. I'm going to be sharing my experience really and what I've learned. And I'll share a little bit more about LinkedIn in a bit. I'm going to share my hacks. So like, don't let me forget about that. Katie is saying great shirt. Thank you very much. A bit more about that in a bit. So yes, what is next? What am I working on next? Let's focus on the future first, and then I'll talk about the history and last year and what happened in a bit. But I want to kind of like be future focused because I'm really excited about this. So this show is continuing. I wasn't in all honesty, I wasn't entirely sure what was going to happen to the show. I knew I wanted to continue podcasting, but I needed a break. And so that break that I've had has allowed me to think about what is the future. And I'm actually going to be continuing with the show. It's going to be focused absolutely on live video, because that's what this show is about, Confident Live Marketing show. So, but it's going to be primarily a podcast, an audio only podcast, but I will be recording the video and I will be publishing the video. So yeah, it's an audio only podcast, but also a video. I'm also going to make it shorter as well. So my aim is to make the episodes about 20 minutes. I may do multiple ones per week, but it's definitely going to be at least one episode per week, maybe two. We'll see how we get on with that. And they are not going to be live streams. Now, you might be thinking, what on earth, Ian, are you thinking here? Because you're talking about live streaming. Surely you should be live streaming this. Well, a little bit more about that in a minute. But there are a couple of reasons for me doing this. First of all, I can batch record these, which is really important because I just need to be careful with my time. It's a busy time, and it also means that it's easier with my guests on the show to book them. I can also, if I'm booking them for an hour, I can actually record 2 different episodes in that 1 hour, particularly if they're shorter. So the reason I'm doing it shorter is attention spans as well. I want to get straight to the point. I don't want any waffle. I want to get straight to the point. And the second thing is I can batch record. The third thing is I can actually record 2 episodes in that 1 hour with my guest as well. That's really cool. But I have to say, I was a little bit reticent about this, and I wonder whether you can empathize with me on this one, because this show is about live video, about the magic of live video and why it's so cool. And I've always been talking about that if you record these live, it gets over that procrastination and just lets you do it, and you have your live audience. And I love my live audience. Katie, it's great to see you here, and you can get some really good insights. But I feel at the moment, the season in my life, this is how I need to do it. I feel that I need to do it this way, but I was still reluctant. And actually, I posted about this in the Rise community, which I'm a member of. Highly recommend joining the Rise community, which is Mark Schaefer's group. And the people in there, they're really wise. Rise, wise. You hear that? And they said to me, look, Ian, the thing is, you've already demonstrated that you know your stuff when it comes to live video. You know, you've done like over 200 episodes. You're clearly seen as a leader, a world leader in the world of live video. Okay, so you don't need to prove that. I thought, do you know what? That is so right. I don't. And for those of you who do watch me live, you know, I'd love to know what you think. Are you going to miss that? If you are going to miss that, then don't worry, because I'm going to share something in a minute. But maybe you can understand my reluctance there. But you see, I want to focus on growing the podcast. I really want to focus on that. And I'm going to be creating video content with that. But I am going to be doing monthly live streams. So the aim is to do 1 or 2 episodes per week with the podcast and the video, really focusing on high quality content. And then I'm going to do a monthly Q&A live stream. And my aim there is it's all about community. It's about asking questions to give value back to you because, you know, I love nothing more. Well, I love a lot of things, but I love answering people's questions and supporting you. So I'd like to focus on that community aspect as well. So that's the aim. But of course, I don't think I have actually shared with you what the topics of the show is going to be, because I'm now going to be recording these or publishing these in seasons or series. And the first one is going to be focused on studios, focusing on studio setups. And this is from basic setups right over to state of the art. The thing I feel quite strongly about here is that, you know, it's very, very easy to look at, say, my studio setup here, and you're hopefully going to be inspired and excited and get some ideas. But quite often people get like overwhelmed, or they start to compare. They think, well, I can't produce content. I can't go live. I can't launch a podcast because I've not got a good setup like Ian's. And I want to kind of dispel those myths. I want to say to you that you can start with what you've got. And so we're going to start focusing on different setups. I'm going to be interviewing some guests. If you know of anyone I should be interviewing, if you've got a setup that you like, it doesn't need to be mega complicated. It can be. That's fine. We're going to be doing lots of different setups. But let me know because I'd love to know that. So yeah, it's going to be focused on that. And then I'm yet to decide this, but the idea after that season is to be focusing so the next season is going to be on confidence and communication. So my aim there is to be interviewing corporate leaders and other people as well, but many corporate leaders to help them gain confidence and to be better communicators, but also interviewing people who have actually done it, who maybe were shy, introverted, but they've gone on stage or they've got in front of the camera and they've done it as well. Because it's not just for the really, it's not for the extroverted, really ultra confident people. This may or may not surprise you, but I'm an introvert. I used to be very, very shy, and getting in front of the camera is not, you know, it takes a bit of effort to do that, but I totally see the importance of that. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. Yeah, it's an exciting time, and yeah, if you're on LinkedIn, do follow me on there. Let's talk, and let's do that. Let's do this. So let's see who's in the chat. So Katie Simpson, watching on YouTube, says, I'd be very interested to hear about your good experience with LinkedIn. So Katie, are you on LinkedIn? I know you are on LinkedIn. I think we're connected, but how much do you hang out there? You see, my concern with LinkedIn, and I'm going to talk about LinkedIn a bit more, but quite frankly, it was just boring. You know, it's business focused, but it was focusing on the boring part of business. And I don't want to do that on LinkedIn. I'll share a little bit more what I think about that. And Carl Sullivan is here. Great to see you, Carl. You've been doing amazing things with your YouTube channel. I'm so excited for you. You are storming away there, if that's the right phrase to use. So well done with that. And Katie is saying, good idea. Success stories. Yes, we're going to be talking about that. Scott is saying, loving the look and quality of the stream, bud. Good to see you pop up on the feed. Great to see you, Scott. It's been a while since we've chatted. Scott is doing some amazing things on Amazon. So yeah, Amazon products, Amazon Lives, all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, let's... So I think I've answered, hopefully, like some of my thoughts in terms of the way the stream is going, this podcast is going. But yeah, other things that I'm going to be focused on, and then I'll talk about the last year. So what am I focusing on this year? It's going to be, LinkedIn. In terms of my social networks, LinkedIn, YouTube, absolutely. I've already published a YouTube video, but I aim to ramp that up because I really want to grow my YouTube channel. I want to I've got so many ideas, so much to give and to share. I just need to get on with that. I won't be turning my back on other channels so much, although I don't know what you think. I feel like the time is kind of over with Twitter or X. And I feel like quite reluctantly because I've always loved it. And I don't necessarily, this is going to be a bit controversial. Please don't hate me. I don't necessarily disagree with, some of what Elon Musk has been doing. Some of the stuff is quite welcome. Like, for example, the videos, the upping the quality of all of that kind of stuff. But it just feels like a ghost town to me. And that's a shame. All my peers have, well, not all of them, but a lot of them have gone elsewhere. A lot of them have actually gone over to Threads. So I'm not sure. Do I hang out on Threads? Do I still keep Twitter? I'm gonna carry on a little bit with X/Twitter, a little bit with Threads, but my focus is on LinkedIn and YouTube, I think. So let me know what you think there. The other thing that I'm going to be doing, and this will hopefully maybe explain my thinking behind changing my strategy with this podcast, but it is because I'm going to be launching a couple of other podcasts. And you might think I'm a complete nutcase here. Because, one of the things that, I'll just briefly say this because I'm going to talk about the previous year, but one thing that I've found with doing too many lives every week is it drains me. I love doing them, but it drains me. And so I've just got to be careful with my energy levels. And so that's why doing shorter pre-recorded ones and doing monthly lives when I'm got loads more energy and really enjoying it is what I want to do. But yeah, in terms of these other podcasts, one of the things I've found with this show, the Confident Live Marketing podcast, is that certainly over the last 50, 60 episodes, I've deviated a little bit away from the brief. This show is supposed to be about live video. And yes, we talk about other areas like marketing and, confidence. There's certain aspects like mindset and things like that. But sometimes I've deviated away. And that is primarily because I'm a very curious person. And one of my things is I want to follow my curiosity. That's always done me well. The big successes that I've had in my business have been when I've followed my curiosity. But the problem with that is that what I'm interested in and what my curiosity kind of ends up in is not necessarily what you find interesting. And so sometimes I've gone off at tangents on the show, which may or may not be of interest to you. Now, I've not heard anything negative. I've not heard any negative things, but it's just my gut feeling that I want to be ultra kind of like niche down with this podcast, but then launch some other podcasts on different topics. And so again, I want to be mindful of my time. I want to do I just want to just focus on the process and how would I put this? Focusing on the process, but also batching and being careful with my time. So the second podcast that I'm going to be launching is to do with entrepreneurs and creators who have ADHD. And I've talked about this a lot on this show, and it doesn't really feel like the right place. I was diagnosed with ADHD a few years ago. There's a lot of people I know who have ADHD or have this kind of brain that works in this particular way. And so I'm going to be talking about that. I'm very excited about that. Going to be introducing some guests onto the show. It's also a very different area. It's not going to be about marketing so much. It's going to be talking with experts in the field. It's also going to be a way that I can learn. So if you describe yourself as neurodiverse, ADHD, or you might not be, official, you may know people who have ADHD. Well, that's what that show is going to be about. It's about smart people who have ADHD and how we can help each other. And then the other podcast is to do with AI. And particularly my interest here is how we can use AI in a human or an ethical way, how we can become more human using AI and looking at different tools as well. So loads of ideas there. Let me know what you think about that. So much stuff. Right. Okay. I'm going to talk about my t-shirt. So my t-shirt is saying Confident Live Recover. It actually says I think, what does it say? Recovering perfectionist. It's kind of, that's the joke. It's spelt incorrectly. And it says one Mastook at a time. This comes from my store, my new store, which is not quite official, but it's coming out very soon. And I'm going to just share it. And this is, before I get onto that, I want to share Ecamm's store because I love this. My friends at Ecamm have just launched this very recently. Is this the right button to press? Yes. And this is at merch.ecamm.com. It's just beautiful. So we can see Luria Petrucci's there and Katie is there. Katie from Ecamm is there. And they're beautiful, beautiful t-shirts here. I love the logo. There's some retro ones there. That's Katie saying you're on mute, which is great. We've got Leslie Samuel with the flow. Oh, look, there's me there with you're on mute as well. We've got some mugs and loads of cool things there. So it's really awesome stuff. There's loads and loads of stuff. But I thought I would do a similar thing as well. So where is it? Here we go. So I'm just putting the finishing touches on this. But we've got Confident Live Streamer t-shirts in all sizes and lots of different colors. Confident Live Creator t-shirts. We've got the Confident Live logo. You can also buy the Recovering Perfectionist t-shirts. So there's a choice of one Mastook at a time, or what's that one? Can't actually read what it says. Oh no, that is the one Mastook at a time. The other one is And Perfectly Flawed. There we go. And Perfectly Flawed. Love that one. And then we've got some hoodies and jackets. And so the hoodies look really nice. Got some caps and hats. Got some beanies in there with the Confident Live Streamer and Creator. We've got some mugs and some water bottles as well. So let me know what you think about those. I can tell you the link now. No, I won't tell you the link now because there's just a few other finishing touches I need to do on that. So yeah, that's the new merch, which is very exciting. So yeah, and new products and services that I've been working on. There is going to be the focus on studio and studio setups is tying in with a new product that I'm going to be launching very soon. I'm not going to tell you any more about it, except for the fact that it helps you build your studio. I'm really excited about this. I've spent a lot of time working with it. I've used AI to help build this. I'm not going to tell you any more about that, but it's cool. And I'd love to know what you think about it. Yeah, that'd be cool. Right. I'm just going to pop over to LinkedIn because unfortunately, LinkedIn's API, I don't quite know why they do this, but LinkedIn doesn't send the comments to any live video tools, so Ecamm doesn't see it. But I can see that Eden Liu is here from Camo. I feel like LinkedIn content, at least on my feed, has gotten more on the creative side than just business. And I totally agree with you. Thanks, Eden. And that's, yeah, so I was going to talk about LinkedIn and I'd forgotten. So yeah, my feeling about LinkedIn is that is what I want to do. It's getting that sweet spot between, yes, business, but putting the personal side into it as well. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'd love to know what you think about my content on LinkedIn. I'm playing around with it, but it's putting the personal side of it. And I think that's when it works really well. If it's kind of too salesy all the time and too businessy, it gets boring as far as I'm concerned. So one thing that I've found with LinkedIn, let me just get to my LinkedIn over here. And I just want to show you something because this has kind of been annoying me a little bit. So if I go to my notifications, okay, let's do this. Is that working? Right. So these are my notifications on LinkedIn. So I'll explain if you're listening to the podcast. The thing about LinkedIn, LinkedIn is very, and this any social network, it's very easy just to kind of lose track of things with your notifications. So somebody's responded to you, but you might have forgotten to respond to that. And because this is personal LinkedIn, tools like Agora Pulse, they don't. It's difficult to. They don't have the API access for notifications. So. John Espirian was posting on LinkedIn recently the frustration that he has with the fact that you can't bulk delete notifications. I didn't even realize you could delete notifications, but it makes sense. Once you've done something, so for example, I can see that Neil Farimond has responded to my post And so he's reacted to it at least. If I comment, if I reply to him, then I don't need to see this notification. I can mark it as done. But in order to do that, I have to click on the three dots and then click on delete notification. It's a real pain. Well, what if there was a workaround for this? If I've got hundreds and hundreds of these, well, I've developed a bookmarklet. If you go to my website, iag.me, and go to the blog, you'll see a blog post I've done on how to bulk delete your LinkedIn notifications. I go through the problem, and then I give you two different bookmarklets. And you might be thinking, what on earth is a bookmarklet? Well, you just click and drag these over up to your bookmark bar, and then you go over to LinkedIn. Now let's go to notifications. And I've got it here. If I just click on delete notifications, we've got some buttons that have been added to the top there, delete notifications and toggle select all. And we've got these little checkbox to the left of each notification. So I can check them off and on, and then I can just delete them all like that. Now that does use selective automation, and not everyone is comfortable with that. I think it's perfectly safe, but that's my opinion. And of course, you've got to use this at your own risk. So the other option, and this is totally manual and in my opinion, very safe, is to use the other bookmarklet. And this just shows or displays the trash can icons to delete these. So for example, I can see that Chris Stone, hi Chris, great to see you, has reacted to my post. I've seen that now, so I don't need to respond to it because he's not left me a comment. So I can just click on the delete and that's gone. Just that easy. So I can easily click and go down all of these. So that's what I've done there. The other thing that I will be talking about in the future is on LinkedIn. Let me just refresh this. I find it's really annoying because if I scroll down, I get all these posts that say about following and about liking. So it says, I probably won't be able to find any now. Yeah. So Libby, my friend Libby Langley, commented on this. Well, what if I just want to see people's posts? Well, I've created some filters to do that. So I'm just going to click on my ad blocker. And then if I refresh the page, it's now just going to show me the posts. It's going to hide any of the liked or any of those kind of things. It's just going to show me the posts, which is cool. Really helped me a lot with things. So that is LinkedIn. Okay, cool. Right, what is next? I wanted to talk about. I've lost my notes. What's happened? What's happened to my notes? There we go. Right. Okay. So yeah, just briefly on last year. So the reason I needed to take this time off is that I don't want to use the phrase burnout because it's overly used, but I just needed a break. And a lot of people at the start of each year come up with a word to describe the year. Sometimes it's growth, sometimes it's community. And I used to have that in the past, but I kind of gave up until this year. And I was thinking, well, what word am I going to use to describe this year? And I started to think about last year. And this phrase came into my head that last year for me was my reluctant sabbatical year. It was a sabbatical when I had to take some time off just to recharge the batteries, to start to think about what I wanted to focus about in the future. So I don't want to say it was all a bad year. It was not a bad year, but it was frustrating in the sense that I couldn't spend the time creating the content that I wanted to do, but I needed that break. I wasn't enjoying things, and I had to pause the podcast because my energy levels were just not there. But I had some coaching last year. I worked with a coach. That was amazing. We worked out what my focuses should be, my revenue streams. We worked out on my purpose. And on January the 2nd this year, I really felt excited. I felt excited about all the things that I've been talking about today. And so, yeah, I'm excited about this show, which is great. I'm excited about these new podcasts. I'm excited about these new services and tools that I'm working on. It's awesome. And so sometimes we do need to just take that time to stop and to take stock and to, have some guilt-free days off when you're walking about thinking. And the other thing that I want to say, Carl, I can see that you've left a comment which looks really interesting. I'm going to come back to that. But the other thing is that we're not always meant to do these things alone. Now, don't get me wrong, as a creator, as a whatever you want to call me, entrepreneur, all these words have different meanings to different people. But the great thing about doing the job that I do is that I have the freedom to be able to do what I like. Like today, I had a very light day. I went over and saw my parents. Like I had that freedom and flexibility to do that. And so that is amazing. But the problem, yeah, and of course the other thing is, yeah, you can. I'm the one that makes the choices, which is immensely liberating. Can be scary, but is liberating. But what I found during the beginning of the 2020s, when the inevitable happened, was that I retreated into myself too much. A lot of people have done that. And what I've realized is that I need people a lot more than I was probably wanting to admit. So this year, I've got this concept of my intelligent friends. Do you have intelligent friends in your life that you want to work with? Intelligent friends who are going to be your cheerleaders, that are going to help you achieve your goals. And I've realized that I need those people in my life. I need cheerleaders to help me, to encourage me as I go along. So one thing I want to encourage you to do is to encourage people. If you like what I do, let me know. Most people don't. But it's not just about me. It's about other people. What are the content creators that you follow that you love? Maybe let them know. Well, do let them know. Let them know. Be their cheerleaders. So you can be a cheerleader for other people, but also you need some cheerleading too. So it's not just about cheerleading though. It's also about help. And this is where the intelligent friend idea comes from. So I want to work with people. I'm going to get some co-hosts for some of my other shows. I'm going to work with people this year. It's so important. So I'd love to know what you think about that. Let's go to Carl and see. So he was talking about LinkedIn. So it says, I left LinkedIn due to not seeing the messages on a live when multi-streaming. So I was not engaged with the audience and didn't want them to think I was ignoring them. Yeah, it's a big problem. And I'm finding that today. So I can actually, so I've had to go back over to LinkedIn. I can see Martin McKenna is here. Great to see you, Martin, who's saying, hello, nice to see you live again. Yeah. So thank you, Martin. But that's the problem. It's that the API doesn't allow third-party tools like StreamYard and Ecamm and Restream to retrieve those messages, or at least that's going to be the case moving forwards. There is a workaround with Ecamm and certain tools, which I'm going to play with. So this involves there's a Chrome plugin. This is the problem. It's complicated. There's a Chrome plugin, but basically you have a window with your LinkedIn Live, and it will grab the links, and then you can put them. You have to embed a widget on your Ecamm, and then it will show it that way. It's a faff, but yeah, that's one way of doing it. So yeah, we definitely need time out for ourselves. So Ian, this is Carl speaking. It's good to know you needed the time. And Caddy is here. Look who's back. Caddy has been amazing. And you are definitely one of my cheerleaders. I mean that. You've been amazing. And I still have to pinch myself actually when people feel that people send me encouragements. It just shows you how much it means to me. So thank you. And Candy's been helping me with, I suppose it's I don't know whether you call it vision, but I suppose it is my vision really for this year. She's amazing. You need to follow her. And in fact, we need to get you on the show as well. So the outdoor station is here. Everyone's commenting that. It's great to see you. Hi Ian, good to see you back. Like you, I am trying to relaunch my enthusiasm after a year of downtime. Good luck. Yeah, it's affected a lot of us. So thank you for your honesty there. I've spoken to a lot of people, and last year was a bit of a difficult year for many people. So this year, I don't know what it is, and this year for me feels different. For you, it might not. You might still be in a bit of a difficult space. But I want to encourage you that you've come to the right place. This is an encouraging space, and I will be going live on my monthly lives. I'd love you to join me. So yeah, That'd be cool. So vision, thank you, Caddy. Yeah, a vision which includes our values. That's the one. Yeah, values and that mindset. Inner game affects outer. Yeah, so true. Well, I'm going to leave it there. I've actually gone on a lot longer than I thought I would, but there was actually so much to talk about. And in terms of when I'm relaunching the show, it's going to be in February. Haven't got an exact date yet. To be honest, I just need to get some time to put everything in place, to get the interviews in place as well. So just be a little bit patient with that. But I will be back in February launching with a new season of the Confident Live Marketing Show. I'm really excited about that. Do check out my website, iag.me. Do follow me on LinkedIn. It would be great to see you there. I will also be starting to send some emails out as well. So you can subscribe to my email newsletter when that happens. But thank you so much. Katie is saying, I'm trying really hard to get back regularly. So yeah, not sure what you mean by that in terms of like creating content and stuff like that. Yeah, it's tough. And Caddy says, well done. Thank you, Caddy. It's been great to see you here. Well, that's it from me. It's time now for me to go downstairs and help my son build his first PC. We've got all the bits. He's very excited about that, so I better go and do that and also help with dinner and all those kind of things. It is a Friday. It's the weekend. Right. Well, until next time, I encourage you to level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of Confident Live Video. See you soon. Bye.
Thanks for watching the Confident Live Marketing Show with Ian Anderson Gray.
Make sure you subscribe at iag.me/podcast so you can continue to level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of live video.
And until next time,
Toodaloo.